What is up, everybody? This is Strong Lead Hook, and we are back with Tainted Grail. I did a little bit of farming for gold, so that's what I've been doing so far. As you can see there, I've now got 272,000 gold. I use that to upgrade my gear, or I upgraded my gear with it, upgraded some weapons with it, like a giant sword. Crafted a few potions here and there, and I'm just back to the same build that I was before I started farming. For me to farm gold, I might show it here at some point. I used the food method. I used a little bit of the potion method, but the food method is the most profitable. That one is the most lucrative. So now for me to farm gold, I had to reset my stats. I used an origin potion, and I had to level up my practicality and my cooking. A little bit of handcrafting, a little bit of alchemy. I had to do that. Then I leveled up my selling skill tree right here for selling items. Now that I'm done with that, I'm just back to the same build that I was before. Melee, strength and endurance. I'm trying to stay away from any sort of damage increases with my skill tree. What I'm trying to do is increase my survivability and my health, and just being like a tank. You know, if you can dodge in this game, if you can block pretty good, your survivability should be fine. And just, of course, craft potions, eat your food, and that should be more than enough for your survival. Damage reduction, I'm trying to do that as well. Let's see. For this skill tree right here, health, under the endurance stat, these are damage increases, which I'm trying to stay away from. Stamina in this game is also pretty important, I think, especially if you're doing a two-handed. Even if you're using a bow, I think that stamina is still pretty important. But this skill tree, some of the skill trees, the flat increases at the start of it is good, but they become very conditional. Like I have to, for example, this one, fully restored stamina is 15% damage reduction. Okay, so like if I'm in the middle of combat and I let my stamina bar fill all the way back up, that's when I reap the benefits of this skill. Which in the middle of combat, that can be a tough condition to create at certain times, especially if you're dodging. Another example is like this one, full stamina, you deal 10% more damage. This would work very well with like a magic build, I think, or a one-handed. But for me, I rarely have a full stamina bar. Killing an enemy restores 10%, so this is very conditional. Right, what if I'm not fighting a mob? What if I'm fighting a boss? So now I can't reap the benefits of this stat right here. What's another example? I'm trying to stay away from conditional skill trees, like it takes a specific situation to trigger them. So I went back to this one, dash cost less stamina, dash regen. I did not take one more long dash because I'm not sure if I'm using all of my dashes. Sliding slows down time for 2 seconds. I haven't done any sliding in this game, so I don't know about that one. I wish the combat in this game, so I have no problem with the combat speed. I like the combat speed. It reminds me of Dark Souls 1. However, I wish the combat was a little bit closer to something like Cyberpunk. You know, where there's you could do a lot more stuff. But in Cyberpunk, I don't think you can dodge. I don't think there's like a dash in Cyberpunk. Or at least the combat isn't centered around it. Which, speaking of Cyberpunk, I haven't played the DLC. But anyways, what else? So my plan right now is to continue to buff up my armor. This one is deal additional 20% of armor as damage when attacking with melee weapons. I like this one because if I beef up my armor, my damage will also go up, right? So no need for me to take many damage skill points. I just go with this one. Yeah, if I've got more armor, which I am using heavy armor, if I'm using heavy armor, I will deal more damage. I haven't broke down the math on how this works out, but it's percentage based. So it should be pretty stacky. 2% chance to negate all incoming damage. This is damage negation based on your armor. I would like to get my carry weight up to the point where I can wear pretty beefy armor and I'd still be in the light category. I would like to do that. I'd like to experiment with something like that. Receiving melee damage, return 25% of it back to the attacker. I like this one. But it's very conditional, right? Like, what if I'm fighting a bunch of magic dudes? This is 10% damage reduction depending on your missing health. There's another health-based damage reduction. I just do not remember where I found. Crit is another one. Crit is another one. I would like to level up my crit. Like a critical hit build. There was another one that I saw that was pretty good. Not that one. It's stamina. This one's a pretty good one. Max stamina every 30 seconds, all the way up to 30%. What was that one? I saw something that I liked. Couldn't have been this one. Increase physical damage for every 5% of missing health. This one is not gonna add up that well. So if I'm like 50% missing health, that's damage increased by 1%. I don't know about that one. I'm not sure about that one. Like I said, the damage increases based on my health. I'm not sure about that one. I don't know if I like it. For every 10 points of missing health, my damage increases by 1%. This one would be pretty good if you have a lot of health. Right? If you have like 1,000 health, let's say, if you're missing 100, that means your damage goes up by like 10%. And if you're at if you're missing 250 health, your damage goes up by 25%. That's pretty good. That's a good damage increase. Statuses. I didn't look at this one. I don't care about it too much. But I'm trying to see if this skill tree is good. This health skill tree. Incoming healing. I don't know what that is. For 2 seconds after taking damage, your next hit will heal you for 5% of your health. So if I'm sitting there, if I'm trading with a boss, my health will heal as I hit him. But this is not damage based. This is you take damage and then your next hit will heal you for 5%. This would be good with a one-handed weapon. That's another reason why I'm not committing to one-handed or two-handed or bows or shields, because I'm trying to make my character tanky, and I want to be able to go back and forth between one-handed and two-handed. And as of right now, there is no new game plus. 10% damage reduction based on missing health. How much of your health would have to be missing? That is the question there. This one is a pretty good skill tree. I'm trying to find this one I found where you have damage reduction based on missing health. I think a crit build is also a little bit tricky. You would have to have gear that is very congruent with a crit build. I don't understand how this is in the healing skill tree. Each enemy killed increases your damage by 5%, up to 50%. Healing resets the counter. Each enemy killed increases your max stamina by 5%. Increase your damage by 1%. This is pretty good. Every 10 points attack speed. This is also pretty good. That is also pretty good, especially if you're like a two-handed guy. If you're a two-handed health kind of guy, that would be a good skill to pick up. I swear I saw this thing where your damage negation or your damage reduction depends on your missing health. It might have just been this one that I saw. Oh, son of a bitch. I have yet to look up a build guide. I wonder if my two-handed weapons are good with critical hits. Because this is in the same skill tree as daggers. Perception is to increase your dagger damage and stealth and critical hit. I figured critical hit is okay with two-handed. I would just have to sit there and trade. You just have to sit there and trade. I like the idea of a shield though. I like the idea of a shield. This is the two-handed skill tree right here. Two-handed heavy attack and 5% bonus damage. Oh, this would be a good one. Heavy attacks with two-handed weapons have 50% chance to deal critical damage if the target is below 30% health. Yup, you could easily be one-shotting. Each enemy within a radius of 5 meters increase your physical damage by 10%. That's a good one. Heavy attacks deal 15% weapon damage. That's like a shockwave or something. Consecutive hits. Huh. Reduce the stamina cost. Two-handed attacks have 2% life steal. This is attack speed for consecutive hits. Boy, you'd really have to beef up your stamina to get a good increase as far as that's concerned. There's some skills here related to overexertion. I mean, you just have to manage your stamina, right? That's just stamina management. Fully restored stamina causes you to take 15% less damage. I guess if you had high stamina regen, this would be a good skill to pick up. And if you're eating food and potions, that would be a good skill to pick up. Movement. Attack speed would be a good one to pick up as well, I feel like. Reduce the time it takes to change weapons. Increase attack speed for each consecutive hit. That'd be a good one. Increase attack speed for 10% after killing an enemy. For a two-handed with a decent attack speed, you'd be a beast. You'd be a beast with it. Like, especially the kind of damage that you're doing with two-handed attacks. You're doing a lot of damage with the two-handed attacks. 10% damage reduction based on missing health. I could have sworn I saw something that had to do with like damage reduction, and it was based on missing health. And it wasn't this one. It was something better. It was something better. Incoming healing by 10%. Resting. Max health 5%. Maybe it was this one. I'm bugging out, bro. I'm bugging. Alright, well, anyways. Let us play. Wasting all that time. Looking for something that I can't find. What is going on? What was going on there? Couldn't hit him. What is incoming healing? I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm gonna look that up real quick, you guys.
The air changed the moment you arrived. changed the moment you arrived.
I thought that, see, I was assuming that incoming healing was like food.
Even your silence carries weight here.
I mean, I thought incoming healing
The air
was...
changed the moment you arrived.
Man, shut up. Let's look at skill trees. Whoops. See, this is related to food, right? So I'm guessing this has something to do with the food also. Because it's with practicality. Practicality has something to do with cooking and food. That's what I was assuming it was. There's also something else in the game. What was it? Lifesteal? I'm guessing lifesteal has something to do with magic. Has something to do with magic. Those health skills that increase your damage, like this one right here, I guess you can do a low health build where you're constantly at low health, but you have like high damage reduction or something like that. Increase your damage by 1 point. I'm being very OCD right now, so I apologize for that. Every 10 points of health you are missing, your attack speed is increased by 1. The points, every 10 points, that's a good one, right? Because I am at 205 health. So at 50% health, that's 10 points. So now I've got 10% damage reduction. And I'm still at 50% health. Now health, each enemy killed increases damage by 5%. I don't like that. Each enemy killed, like, okay, what if I'm fighting a boss one-on-one? You know what I'm saying? Increase physical damage, 5% missing health. I'm really not sure about buffs based on missing health. I don't know about that. I'm not gonna be crouching anymore. Fuck all that. Let's just kill these guys. A lot of people, when I see people with this game, what they say is to, what do you call that? They say something along the lines of, oh, you gotta go the magic route, you gotta go the magic route. Because it's like OP or something like that. They're trying to do stealth archer, which is hilarious, but also magic. I choose to go the big bonk route, two-handed, smash everything to pieces route. You know, just walk into a cave like this, fuck shit up. That's way more fun than magic, I think. I was gonna earn more money, just keep farming gold, but I was getting real bored with it. And I didn't want to switch to Neo 2 and start recording that one. Two alchemy stations. Why? What they need in this game is a lock-on, like a hard lock-on. This game needs a hard lock-on. It would improve the combat so much. The soft lock-on isn't bad or anything, but I feel like a game like this was just designed for a hard lock-on. I wonder when time slows down, I wonder if that's a crit. Like, I wonder if that's because I scored a critical hit. I've been using the money that I farmed to upgrade my weapons and my gear. I've been using a lot of it. The reason why I bring that up is because that's how I get most of my damage, is my upgrades. You have a limited amount of skill points in the game, but you have an unlimited amount of money as long as you're willing to farm, right? So I would rather, for now, in the early game, get my damage from upgrading the weapons rather than getting it from my skill points. But then again, I am not playing on hard. They're coming out with a new game plus. I'll play it on hard mode then. Oh, I unlocked a whole bunch of recipes too. Looked it up online. not gonna lie. I've been having some fun with this game. I've been enjoying it. The alpha demo for Neo 2 came out, and I should be playing that one. Right, it should be that one that I'm playing, because it's limited. It's gonna be gone in like a week or so. Plus, I'm gonna work this new full-time job, so I'm gonna have even less time to play. And I'm not gonna give up, you know, working out and kickboxing to play video games either. So my time is gonna be extremely limited. This game needs to have like the the colored light up pebbles, just like in the Souls games, so that you can keep track of where you've been, just to retrace your steps. Unless it's already in here and I just don't know about it. I find it hard to believe that the devs, when they did their level design, did not take into account, didn't take into account that that players would need help retracing their steps. Another reason why I'm not playing it on hard mode is because you don't get anything out of it. I don't get more XP by increasing the difficulty. You can't do that with the Souls games either, but you know, at the same time, the Souls games are difficult, but they are very, very rewarding. The rewards are appropriate for the difficulty level of the Souls games. Now with a game like this, I'm not gonna get more XP, nor am I gonna get more resources. As a matter of fact, I want to say increasing the difficulty in this game affects your resource drops, which is dumb. Shouldn't you have more rewards for the increasing of the difficulty? Right? Shouldn't I have more upgrade materials, more potions, and more stuff? I should have more drops for the increased difficulty, right? But whatever. They didn't do it. It is what it is. In Witcher 3, I didn't play the Souls games until recently. And the hardest game I played before that was Witcher 3. I was motivated to play Witcher 3 on a higher difficulty because you got more XP. The increased difficulty gave you more XP. There's gonna be a mini boss right here, I think. When you're a tanky two-handed, you can just run up into places and murk everything on sight. Cutscene. Of course. Of course, there's a weird fucking thing that I have to fight. Not too bad of a boss fight. How is he still alive? Okay. Sometimes I'm worried that I might hit my little buddy over here. I don't know if you guys ever watch Feeble King's videos. I don't like his takes on certain games, especially Elden Ring. But he is right about this game when he says that positioning matters a lot in this game, and it's very reminiscent of Dark Souls 1. I do agree with him on that sentiment. It would be even better if they had a lock on, right? If you could lock on the enemies in this game. Did I pick up his stuff? Yes, I did. Slowly burns nearby enemies. Increase max health by 3. If the experience I gain went up with the difficulty, I would definitely play on a harder difficulty. Absolutely. I absolutely would. But it doesn't. So why play on a harder difficulty that doesn't reward me at all? There's no reason for it.
You did it. I wish I'd been the one to face. Excellent. And here's your reward. The guild never stopped operating. At one point, it wasn't the first time in Avalon's history that the druids were the first target, and the plan was for the alchemist's guild to be next. We preferred to disappear on our own terms, but we still care about the fate of Avalon and its people. Our guild was indeed formed in Camelot, but we fled from there long ago. The Thoid tribe is the only one that doesn't fear magic. The guild saw my potential and invited me into its ranks. Yes, I did. With your cut, and to be honest, it's been a long time since I've felt this. What do you say? We have a valuable member, A researcher of the weirdness named Eckhart from Connacht. A very wise man. I have my own mission to complete, so finding out why, if something unfortunate, let's meet at the stat.
I found his body. When did I find his body? It must have been in one of the caves that I've been into. Ah, it's a new shield. I found Eckhart's body. I should search. Okay. Let's try and increase the difficulty. And let's see if not survival mode though. And let's see if it does any if the XP goes up. Maybe Dex needs to go up. Stamina. Practicality is actually a useful. Very useful stat. What do y'all think? Increase practicality? Comment down below. Even though I don't have any subscribers. Let's go with endurance. When you have full stamina, 10% more damage. Do I want one more dash? I'm not using a shield, so I am using dashing quite a bit. Practicality. Deal additional 20% of armor as damage. Receiving melee damage returns 25% of it back. 10% damage reduction. I'm gonna look this up. See if it's worth it. Toughened by pain. I mean, it's not hard to reset your skills in this game, so I will do healing though. I think healing's a pretty good stat to acquire. Food regenerates 10% more health. Resting gives you random blessing, increasing one of your statistics. That's a good one. I need to see some numbers, you know? Like how much damage reduction and how much health do I need to lose for me to reap those benefits. This giant sword right here, as y'all can see, I increased it all the way to plus 10. This is a plus 2 weapon, and it has more damage. I feel stupid upgrading this to plus 10 because it only required a regular iron to upgrade it. So I kept on upgrading it. I was like, well, it's cheap to upgrade, cheap materials. Why not, you know? $440 XP. I cannot tell whether that's a lot of damage or not, or that's a lot of XP or not. I cannot tell. Well, they're definitely harder, I tell you that. 60 XP. I want to say regularly they'd give 50 XP. Now they're giving 60 XP. I'm gonna be quite salty if there are no benefits to increasing the difficulty for no reason. Why did I just do that? But see, the problem with that skill, Toughened by Pain, the one that we're looking up right now, it's only up to 10% damage reduction. Right, like it's only 10%. What is the use of that? 10% is nothing. I already killed these guys earlier. Look at this guy. No need to read it. Volume 2. Well, let's read it. Why not? Applied a controlled alchemical fire to the weirdness, hoping to observe reactions similar to combustion. Instead, the fog seemed to absorb the fire's energy. A fog can store energy. So this is supposed to be a medieval set in medieval times, early medieval British era, and yet he knows words like energy. Recent tests revealed the weirdness has no effect on inert matter. They even know words like that, inert matter. It resonates powerfully with anything bearing life energy, Fogg's attraction, and explain ancient presence. Blah blah blah. An attempt to draw out spark of life directly from weirdness. Eyewitness reaction. Fleeting manifestation. If I'm gonna play on hard difficulty, then I'm gonna have to carry more food. I'm gonna have to carry more food and eat more food. Tyrannus near morning harpist. That's in the next map. That is in the next map. This is also in the next map. Next map. Shadow of Horns. Yeah, we can continue this quest line right here. We can go ahead and continue it. But before that, let's talk to our guy, the guy in charge at the army camp, the army base. Speaking of deer, there is a place here where I can hunt down these deer, which is what I need to do. My horse is always hanging out here. 30 XP. I can't tell if it gives me more XP or not. Repairing the village. I do need to do that quest though. Nothing. So we got about 5 minutes left. I am going to save my game, and then we are going to we are going to attack these guys and see if they give us more XP while we're on veteran difficulty.
Oi! Stop where you are! Well, well, well. The scoundrel has been caught. In your...
440 XP. Then let's see. A veteran adventurer explorer. For also 440. Also 440. No, nothing changes. The XP gains are the same. XP gains are the same, which is disappointing. That is quite disappointing. Yeah, there's no reason for me to increase the difficulty. If I'm not gonna be rewarded for it, then no, I'm good. I need to buy some wood.
It's nice to have a break.
And leather and feather. That is expensive. And I've been farming for gold, which I don't feel like doing anytime soon. Build up frost. Don't need that. I will go ahead and record another video right after this one. So I'll just turn it off and turn it back on. So this is a relic. Those are relics. In the recent patch update, they started giving weight to items that previously did not have weight before. Which is ridiculous. It's like, come on, man. I'll see you all in the next one.